Yeah. Chris, I meet you. Wait, with this guy.
Morning, how are you doing?
Look, like the final countdown, y'all hear that in the background? It's final. Nice to meet you. I'm like a funny bro, and you can sit there.
Right?
I love it. How are you?
Good.
Like, what did you show? What did you show? Light? No. I'm just asking for a friend. I don't know the question. Like Cam's here always on time. And I say that, and I'm gonna watch this room just fill up in the next 15 minutes. Is that gonna be correct?
Yes.
So if you show up for an appointment, you have an appointment 9:30 every Tuesday, it's every Tuesday, you know that it doesn't change. Like if I'm not even here, somebody needs to hear my voice. So my question, I ask you to tell me, did you show up? And matter of fact, if you show up 10 minutes early, that is okay. You can do that. You can do that, it's okay. Huh? Lombardi time. Oh, okay. I know what's happening. Good. Well, I don't see Carrie here, and I really, I just want to give a shout out for them. She's on. Carrie,
I'm here.
I'm missing you here. I'm talking about this new setup that I'm in absolute love with. So the
It's pretty
spit's only
sweet.
got bigger. Dallas is so excited. He's not getting spit on it as a guest Chris. It's so excited I can step back. So I want to say thank you.
My pleasure. It looks great. I'm glad it worked out.
You're a Chick-fil-A. Okay, well, thank you. I want to start Cheers for Peers with that. Next, I want to cheers for Peers again. Because I can, and I want to say thank you. What's Alan? Okay, I want to thank her and anybody who had a part in Red Day last week. Did ever, who? Okay. I'm going to challenge everybody next year to put Red Day, May 11th, 12th, I think it's 11th is her birthday. We always do it on a Thursday, the day we get back. Second, put it on your calendar. You are going to give it back to the community. The event we did this past Thursday, I have not been the same since that event. From emotions of sadness, emotions of anger, different emotions have come through for me. Cravens has been doing this for many, many, many years. On Thursday night, he goes down, and I always call it the wrong thing. I call it grit, but he calls it maybe something else. It basically goes down there, homelessness to the people, and it's right down square right there at the county. So our lawmakers are making policies, and you got the homelessness. It's so bad, it's so sad. And I think each and every one of you, I'm going to challenge you, no matter what your world is. Did you go down there one night, make food, and go down there? We didn't have police escort. We went straight up the bridges, straight up the overpass. We went there, right? We went in groups. We prayed for people. But when I asked this young lady one question, where do you lay your head tonight? She says, wherever I can. I made her realize how blessed we really are. And then the anger and some other emotions hit me. So I want to say that to you. If you get that opportunity, take that opportunity. I was not able to have Michael with me. He will go back to see just how blessed we are of just the shower you get to shower in, or the toilet you get to use. And so anyway, I want to say that. Thank you to everybody and everything. I saw some of the senior living home playing bingo. It was awesome. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it was awesome. And they love it. And here's the thing: we only hope that we get there. Because we are going to be there. Last time I checked, all of you are going to age. And I gotta realize that I know I haven't aged. I look the same as you. You're going to age. And you could be there. So, you know, and they're so important. So I just thank everybody who had a hand in Red Day. And then I want to thank our sponsors for the after party. Because it was a lot of fun at La Parrilla. All right? No.
La Parrilla.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So anybody else, I know I shared two, tell me something good, but somebody else. Something that's happened in your world that you want to share. And not everybody at once, it's okay. Thank you, Reese.
So my one thing of the year, as shared earlier, was the surrogacy for me and my wife, and as of Friday, we are fully funded, and I'll have a girl in Idaho pregnant in about 60 days.
No. And I know that's been your one thing, it's been a thing, you know, you've been grinding at work every day so that you can make that happen, so congratulations, you're proud of you. That's awesome, and for the family, Brittany, and everybody else. Anybody else? My daughter always quick, wants to say something.
Right, because I didn't get to your life because we had to put our dog out.
There you go, congratulations. What is gonna take the legacy of the molder, and it's gonna be that, because he ain't afraid to talk, right? One more, I need a business, something's happened in business. And I don't wanna call on you, so I won't, thank you, so go ahead.
So I've done a bunch of open houses like we are always told. So since May 1st, I've done 2 open houses for Family Homes Georgia and have gotten 2 buyers.
Oh, so you work, yeah, y'all can pat, go ahead. So you work, you had activities, and you getting results.
I have 1 closing and one.
What happened, and I know there's a lot in this room that have said this. I did 2 open houses and they don't work. There's 52 weeks in the year, you take off 12, you work 40 open houses a year. Real estate's the same as it was 20 years ago. Do an open house, hey, but make it fun. Make it fun. If you have children, take your kids with you, make cookies, make it fun. Hey, have your wife or spouse or partner bring their car. Why? You get multiple cars in the driveway. What does that do? That tells people that people are at your open house. Little secrets right there, right? They might not know that's your spouse or friend. Invite your friends to come see the house, right? And we know that houses are not as abundant as usual, right? We know there's far in between. So yeah, I would absolutely every week. It's a great lead gen opportunity. And take off, maybe twice a month you do. Absolutely. All right, thank you for sharing that. All right, anybody else? Cheers for Pierce. You want to talk about anybody else want to talk about someone else like Matt? You want to talk about him, what he did right, or Hunter, what they did right, or Ashley? Yes, go ahead.
So both Matt and Hunter. Matt, the other day, a friend of mine reached out like out of the blue and he's like, hey, Sandy, do you have a lender? Do you have a lender that I can use? You know, I need a lender right away. I want to make an offer on a condo. So I call Matt and he starts working with him. I'm like, by the way, Matt, I don't know what agent he's working with. He just came at me for the lender. And so Matt starts talking to him. I start talking to him. He just pushed the button on Zillow and had the Zillow agent that had shown him the house. And, but anyway, we got it all turned back around. So now he's with Matt, he's with me. It's all good. Did a home buying seminar this weekend. He wasn't even feeling good and still pulled it out, and with a neighbor of mine that lives across the street and his fiance. And they were just, you know, it was nice, just the 2 of them, but it was perfect because it was basically a consultation and an education session for them. So rock stars.
Yeah, well, thank you. I know you weren't feeling.
He was not feeling well.
Step up.
But nobody would have known.
You know what I tell people? Those 2 is actually 202. Why? Because each person, I believe in my world, you know 100 people, don't you? So if I tell him, he knows, and he tells Dallas, he knows 100. So each person, so you actually get more people than you think you did. But they're not talking. Congratulations, thank you. All right, and Michael, Greg, y'all ready to come down here? You got the whole crew here today.
Morning.
Yeah, tell us something good. What's going on in y'all's world?
I'm gonna find out if my brother's having a boy or girl.
I saw some, Amy brought the baby by yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
I got to hold him. I got to hold him. He started crying. I gave it to Mary Ann. She got it. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead, give the conversation at a late night bar, while I was in Texas. Tell you that.
All right, hopefully it was good things. That's
But
y'all talking about the phone, Jack was talking about.
Yeah.
There we go.
She says you leave my car alone.
There we go. All right, y'all, what's going on? I'm Carter Tenney. I'm with Michael and Gray. I'm one of the closing attorneys. I'm here helping out while Amy's taking care of the poor man. I've got Emily Raymond right here. She's our agent service representative. Right here, I've got Edna Hernandez. She's also our agent services representative. She is our bilingual agent service representative. And let me tell you something, if y'all need a good translator, I've got one right here. In fact, she's fixing to come here. And come here Thursday, to help me get it closed. If you ever need anything like that, or, you know, you gotta close it, you need somebody to translate, let me know and I'm gonna bring the pro with you, okay? Y'all today, I just wanna take a little bit of time. It's that time of year, we've seen tax assessments coming out from various counties. So it's about that time. I want to talk to you about tax preparations, okay? If there are two things in life that are guaranteed, it is death and taxes. The cool thing about taxes, though, I can prorate it. I cannot prorate debt. In fact, prorations, that's what's going on in the GAR contract. Whenever you go in a contract, you will see it in our settlement statement. If taxes, you know, for that year, you're gonna see those taxes prorated over here on the seller side. They're gonna come in as a debit. And then over here on the buyer side, you're gonna see them as a credit. You pay for the time that you lived on the property. You've been there for 5 years, you will pay if you've been there for 5 months, you will pay 5 months of taxes. And then we're gonna prorate the rest, okay? Just something to remember, you'll see it on the settlement statement. For y'all who were there during my settlement statement class last week, right here, you'll see it prorated seller side debit, buyer side credit. Just something to remember when you go to the closing table, okay? All right, y'all.
And then I got a little something, we're excited about on Thursday, May 25th, which is not this Thursday, but next. I'm actually teaching a class with Hunter and Nina. It's gonna be, May 25th, 2 to 3 p.m., how to host a client appreciation event. My background is event planning, so I'm also bringing in some experts too. I know Nina's planned an event like that too, so bring your questions and we're excited to hear some good bits.
I think that is an awesome, thank you, first of all, Stephen, I don't know if that's how your comfort zone, if I'm a big group. That's such an opportunity to bring all your clients to an event. Thank you for doing that. That's awesome. Yeah, y'all are precious.
I'm excited. That's it.
All right, the only thing, Carter, I got a question back here. The only thing I'm gonna say to you, and I'm gonna challenge everybody in this room. He said there's 2 things we have in common. I would challenge all of you, the only thing you have in common with me is debt. That's it. You don't have taxes.
Because Mac does not pay his taxes.
Make sure you understand if your language is wrong. I choose not to because I don't get Wesley Snipe. What I do is through wealth building and real estate, you can change your tax bracket. And if you're not doing it as this room, it makes me sad because I want Chattanooga North to be the one thing called wealth building.
Yeah.
And what you choose to pay is on you. And we have an opportunity to, yes, take our tax bracket to 0. Not that I don't want to pay them. But I want to do with my money when I got homeless down in Atlanta and I want to take my money and support them or Mallory's Hope Cancer. So I just wanted, you gave me a window to say that out loud, but we all will die. That's true. That's true fact. So I appreciate it. All right, thank you guys. All right, up next, Shelton Morgan, Matt Hunter, you guys have got some praise. Renee is not here, but we just see her here yesterday. And I was gonna say I didn't see Jaime, but he is here, so. Good
morning, good morning. How's everyone doing? First had the pleasure of going down to Atlanta with Cravens, the whole group, unbelievable red day. first time doing anything like that. It was definitely a life changer. The prayers changed after a day like that, that's for sure. So really excited to be a part of Red Day and appreciate everyone who came out to La Paria and enjoyed some time afterward.
You see my mouth just want to talk so bad. I know. Yeah, I can't make a meat peanut butter sandwich. You are terrible. He sucks at it.
Peanut butter to my jelly.
And my house staring at it, it was the best of it. Yeah. It's not fun.
Yeah.
But thank you for you guys playing all in as well. That means a lot. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, mortgage rates, they have been stubborn. They're still hovering around that 6.5% range. Barry Habib, who's a guy that Hunter and I follow closely, he's moved his projection as to when rates will start falling into closer to the beginning of June. So again, experts, they're not always right. I think you guys have realized that with me talking and quoting them up here, but that Barry Habib's projection is they're going to start falling beginning of June. 50% of future market investors believe that the Fed will cut rates by July. 100% believe by September. So obviously, once these rates start getting cut, that's going to speed up the time in which the rates start pulling down. Important news there. One big market mover today, we don't have a ton of news coming out, is Thursday. The jobless claims data will be released. So that's something that can move the markets pretty drastically. Something that I'm really excited about, maybe you pull up that flyer that went out, everyone. So we got, and not every lender has access to this product. In fact, I've been in the industry for 13 years. I have a lot of different loan officers I've worked with. I always shoot messages to see who has access to a product. None of the people that I've worked with in the past have it, at least up to the percentage of income that we're able to do. So Freddie Mac Borrow Smart, this is for any first-time home buyers in Metro Atlanta. And I've had 4 different scenarios of first-time home buyers, one in Peachtree Corners, one in Roswell, one in Alpharetta. All of those fit the bill for the location. Key points to this product is if they're under about 134,000 in terms of income, they qualify and they're a first-time home buyer. It reduces the interest rate by almost half a point for them. So on a $450,000 purchase, putting down 5%, that's $200 a month that they'd be saving. Also reduces their PMI, and the biggest thing is a $3,000 grant that goes towards the buyer's closing costs, which is huge. They can utilize this to buy down the rate even more, or if they just want to keep more, money on hand, they can do so. But the only kind of kicker, or not kicker, but they do have to speak with a counselor. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour. They don't have to go in person, but very, very easy. We can still do 15-day closes with this product.
So do they still, if rates, say they buy this product or they get this product in August and in December rates drop to 4%, can they rebuy
Absolutely.
and get the same deal that y'all give now, that there's no lender cost?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes. And a little birdie, this isn't full blown, I think you're gonna talk about it, but the extension of the free refi and waiving the lender fees.
Yeah, so I mean, that's already extended till the end of the year, the purchase. So if you guys do have a client that buys a boat by the end of this year, we are waiving the lender fees on a refinance all the way to the end of next year. I would expect that date is gonna be extended just because we don't know what the rates are gonna do and if they don't drop. So, middle of next year, we can give people some time and hopefully they'll continue to drop. And then the loan level pricing adjustments that we talked about, that everybody was up in arms about, that people were calling us left and right. Lower credit scores, getting better interest rates. With all the pushback and the fight that has happened, they actually just decided that that is not going to be enacted anymore. So it was supposed to go into effect in May, then they pushed it back to August, and now it's not happening at all. And they just said because it's bad for the consumers, there were a lot of people that were up in arms about it. And not to mention it's tough on us when people get low level pricing adjustments and their interest rate changes, or once their income is calculated fully by the underwriter, if anything changes with our ratios, that puts us in a bind as interest rate changes at that point. So they're trying to make everybody's life easier. So that is now not going to go into effect anymore. And the last thing, we're seeing a ton of competition. It's very, very competitive out there. There's a lot of people that want to shop around after they go under contract. we highly recommend to you guys telling your clients, make sure you guys are talking to somebody. And if that's fine, if they want to look at interest rate difference after they go under contract, but we're trying to fully underwrite everyone before we put in an offer. It makes our life easier, it makes their life easier. We're not scrambling to get documents, after we're under contract with a 14-day close. It just makes everybody's life easier, the process streamlined, and a great transaction. So we would highly recommend and appreciate if you guys would be able to get fully underwritten before we go ahead and put it on.
So I'm gonna add this, words matter, and so when I say this, correct me in this. Do interest rates? Make sure y'all understand what I'm saying. Do interest rates really matter right now? Why is that?
Because every projection, just if you look at the market and you look at, the economics, what has been going on over the past year and what's gonna hopefully happen in the future, rates are gonna go down. So the difference between a 6.5 and a 6.375 rate right now, might cost you maybe $1,000 over the next 6 to 12 months, but $1,000 maybe worth it to get your loan closed on time. There's no hiccups, you're not, stressing out. So the thing that really frustrates us is when people work with us for 4 months and then shop us after they go under contract, and maybe utilizing our pre-approval letter and our fully underwritten package. And we do a very good job of beating people's quotes. So if they give us the opportunity to match or beat it, we're very confident that we can do so. So, just make sure you're giving that information here.
Well, I like, more important for me is the lender credit that you'll get back. And you got a year and 6 months.
Which will probably be extended as well.
Yeah, so it's a win-win, right? I understand you don't want to pay 6, and we say that it might change, we see June, but does that matter? If it does, great, we get locked in, but we don't hold out to buy now. Buy now.
Right. Rates drop, competition drives up, so you're paying more than the purchase price, because it's even more competitive.
That's why they're trying to slow it down.
Yeah.
We were talking about it too. If you have a $450,000 purchase and 5% down, I think we talked about this previously. But at a 6.5 interest rate, 4.5 or 450 purchase price with 5% down, it's going to be just about the same monthly payment as a $500,000 purchase with 5% down and a 5.5 interest rate. So just something to think about when the prices do go up, when the rates drop.
Well, I appreciate y'all. The last thing I always say about y'all, where are you standing right now in Shelton Mortgage?
So, the volume has not been updated in about a week and a half, but the last that we saw, we were #1.
That's what I. It's coming for you, right, Hunter?
Yeah, we got 2 more days.
You know that, right?
For some May deals. If you guys want to close in May, let us know.
Sue Ellen, I don't see Sue Ellen. Kelly's here. That girl's here with the bottle of wine. I know all y'all ready to see Kelly. She's the most important. Oh, Felix is here. Yeah. I don't know the power.
Is that wine open? Wine open?
Yes. Buenos dias.
Buenos
dias. Oh, it's gonna be a good day.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Warranty, your home warranty partner and resource, and I brought the famous Felix here with me. So first off, I just wanted to tell you guys a little story real quick. So back in February, it was late February, I had an agent that called me and she said, I really need you to talk to my buyer. She is a single mom. She is buying, a home with an older HVAC. It's around 33-year-old HVAC. She was like, what? We had the home inspection, everything was fine. They also had an HVAC inspection, which everything was fine. So I called the buyer, I let her know about 210, and she was like, right now, everything's fine, I just don't have the funds, so I do not want the home warranty. And so I did follow up again, still no. So guess what? Oh no. A week later, just this past week, she called me furious. And she was like, the HVAC is out, it cannot be repaired. The guys quote me over, it was $12,500 for a brand new system. She was like, I do not have the funds, can I still get a home warranty? The answer is no, because now it's gonna be considered a pre-existing issue. She could get a warranty for any failures that are going on, later on, but unfortunately, because there's issues going on, she cannot get it. And so if she did have a home warranty, if she had our supreme coverage, which is the best, she probably would have got a brand new full system. She probably would have only been just a service fee out of pocket, $100 to very, very low out of pocket. I've seen anywhere from $250 to $300 out of pocket sometimes. But y'all, for these guys, ever since January 1st, they are now moving forward with a new SEER. And they're not going under $10,000 for a system replacement.
Speaking of this here, we have a bottle of wine. And we're gonna ask a question, raise your hands. If you have the answer, you'll take the bottle of wine. It is National Mimosa Day today.
Oh.
Which, but what is it also National Body Piercing Day? That's a very strange dangerous combination. So what's the new? But what about the question here? You'll figure, you didn't get it, you'll figure it out later. So the question is, what is the new SEER established by law the 1st of January in the United States? You raise your hand first.
15.
15, that is correct.
So then, yes, the new tier is 15, is also known as Huron. As of January 1st, 2020, there was a government mandate where they're banning the manufacturing of parts and equipment for R22, also known as Freon. And so moving forward, basically, if they have to replace, they can no longer replace with Freon R22. We have to replace with SEER 15. And the good thing about 210, we do SEER match. We also make sure everything's compatible. So there's an indoor and there's an outdoor. If the outdoor system goes out, we're gonna have to make sure that they are compatible together running off the same refrigerant, which a lot of warranty companies don't cover. We also have no match in the first year towards refrigerant. So this is why you should be telling your buyers, especially about a warranty with older HVAC systems. And, I always recommend the Supreme package, but we do have our simple and standard too that also covers HVAC, but the Supreme covers more towards the replacement. Okay, but in here we do have a waiver. This is for your protection. If they say no to you, just like that homeowner, have them sign this, because a couple of days, weeks, months, even up to a year, if they're coming back asking, what are you gonna do with that broken HVAC system? It often that's something that could have repaired. Okay, again, Kelly with 210, I come along with my package. If you guys ever need anything, please call me. I love to talk to your clients. I love to educate. It's so important that they know who we are.
So let me ask you a question. Yeah, y'all can clap that one. The Metro Atlanta already has upgraded, I'm talking household, has upgraded to 15 SEER. Ooh. Well, I can answer for you, I'm not in your business. Okay. I say less than 1%. I would agree. Unless you're a new home builder, you're in an older 13 SEER system, right? Absolutely. So why would we not have this conversation to help out in every conversation?
Absolutely, and this is an opportunity actually for you to call clients that you haven't talked to in a while to give advice. Okay, now you're not just knocking the door to ask for a referral, although you are, but you are really giving them information. You are the real estate agent, giving them information about something that they may not know. I could save them a lot of money. And by the way, we can do a home warranty on homes that are, already occupied. There's just a 30-day waiting period.
Yes, peace of mind. Do I have it? That's fine. That's awesome. I thank you. I'm really excited. On Zoom, if you got anything to add to us today?
I just wanted to say hi to everybody and good morning. And if I'm not there today because I had a rock hit my windshield, but luckily I got pretty decent insurance, so I'm not coming out of pocket. But if y'all ever have that happen, or think that you drive a decent amount and might have a rock hit your windshield in the near future, you might want to check your deductible and see how much you're going to come out of pocket. I saved myself close to $1,000. So just let me know if you want me to take a look at that for you.
Andrew, can you hear me?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, is that your house you're at?
Yeah, I have a condo in Chamblee. Yep.
Or did you just get married?
I did.
I would do a virtual background just in case your wife walks out that door.
Okay.
You think I'm kidding on that conversation? That has happened to people. That is when you need their heads up. You're welcome. Advice. Thank you. Andrew, okay, sure.
Thank you.
Same thing, you saw the liquor bottle behind you.
Yeah.
Everything to me, and she walked out that door right now. He's gonna flip out. So I gave him the- so all of you be thinking about that, next thing you know, Senator, what is your virtual and where are you sitting? And know when you walk in the living room and in the kitchen behind you. All right? I just saw him walk in the room. Come on, Miss Purple, come on, no question. I said, Miss Purple, what you got purple?
I didn't realize I had purple.
You got purple, and there's that gold, and you got purple.
Good morning. I didn't realize it. You know, what can I tell you?
A couple things to bring to your attention today, and interesting, got a call yesterday, from someone from this market center, but I am unfortunately seeing it every day. And that is advertising. The Georgia real estate license law has more unique advertising rules than any other state. And it is not, it's really unusual, it's very different. But one thing we've got to understand, simplicity, and that's how I boil it down, is simplicity, is this. You have a license. It doesn't allow you to sell real estate. Your license does not allow you to sell real estate. The license, the only way you can sell real estate in the state of Georgia is to be connected to a brokerage company. So independently, just because you got your license, you can't sell real estate. The only way you can sell real estate in the state of Georgia is to be connected to a brokerage company. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Well, if you really, really, really get it, you won't have a problem with advertising. Because this is our issue. Every day, I see on Facebook, I see in emails, I see lots of advertising, and the advertising only has your name or your team name. Every time you put yourself out there as a real estate agent, every time you put your logo, it needs to be connected to your brokerage. You don't care how little it is, that's not important. That's only with specific advertising relative to a sign or postcards relative. But every time you put it out there, you need to have your brokerage company. I have looked at a lot of logos and some of them are just really great in the fact that they have a template for their logo. It's really nice looking, but alongside it is the template for their market center. And so you have to have exactly, and it looks so good, but that way they know that they can't put that out there without the company connected. Everybody got it? We're just written slack. We only had, the real estate commission is not checking emails and the real estate commission is not doing anything, but we did have an agent from our North Fulton office that did get reprimanded, for her Facebook because she didn't put Kelly Atlanta with her name. Now, what was funny about it is it was from 2001. You know, I get a lot of calls. I don't know. I get a lot of calls from the real estate commission. They and our best friends, unfortunately. However, the bad news is this, they're about 2 years behind. If you go on the website for Georgia Real Estate Commission, you'll see they're really trying to get employees. You see that all the time. So they are behind. They're about behind 2 years in their investigation. So when Linda got caught, she paid her fine, they did the investigation. The funny part about it was this was her question to me. Melba, I'm through with that. I'm so excited. I'm done. But it was 2 years ago. Are they going to get me for every single time I did it since 2001? And I went, no. I think you're fine. And the real estate commission did not find her. Guess who turned her in? Exactly. The real estate commission. Good Lord, they don't have enough employees. They don't have time to drive around, look at signs. They don't have time to look at all your advertising. So it's another agent, you know, let me give you a break. So the, if you know what Russian roulette is, you're probably fine, you know, until. Yeah, so I'm just giving you a heads up, just be mindful that, remember, you can't sell real estate with your name of your company, you can't put it out there. The number one job for the Georgia Real Estate Commission is actually protect the public. And so as a result, when you just put your team name out there and just put your name as a real estate agent, it really looks like you're an independent company, and that's not protection of the public. The last thing I want to leave with you, and congratulations, Georgia Legacy Group came out with a new policy, and that policy was on all your contracts, you have to attach the affiliated business arrangement agreement. in the bud, you know, but it is our policy. And other companies have done it before, and we got mad when they did it, so get over it, we're doing it now. And it needs to be a part of every purchase and sale agreement. So I think it was an agent in this office that came up with a great idea, and if you're a listing agent, but they might have need help. But upload it, everybody got it, upload it into the FMLS and says, please, and put an exhibit A, B, C, D, whatever. And say, would you make sure this is up, actually, would have to be if you upload it, and upload it and say, please make this as an attachment, have your buyer sign it. Does everybody get it? If you forget to do it, you're gonna get. And when you correct it, the only way to ever correct a contract is an amendment. You can't touch that thing. Once it's binding, it's in concrete, you can't make any changes. The only way you can make a change to a purchase and sale agreement is with an amendment. Are we good? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lucy, I never met your family before until social media. I love it. They're beautiful. Yeah, let me, I can tell you one. I love these new chairs, man. I'm excited every one of them. So far, thanks.
Great process of making that happen.
This is awesome, yeah, right? If you change it up a little bit, make this room bigger, so. Yeah.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So I want to kind of continue the theme with events. It seems to be the conversation we've had a lot around the Chattanooga office, and we have some pretty cool trainings coming up. But I don't get the flex muscle that often, but I'm a max coach as well, which is another side passion of mine. And I was working with a client in Elkin, North Carolina. Anyone know like Elkin, North Carolina? It's not a booming metropolis by any means, right? But he hosted this client event. He had got together the community and basically rented out a movie theater for the Super Mario Brothers movie a couple weeks ago, and got 771 leads.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Wow. So I'm gonna talk about that today. Like 771 new leads.
Yeah.
Me too. So I thought it was a really good idea. So like number one, he came from value, giving away movie tickets to an area like Elkin, North Carolina is pretty cool, but he used what we call the wedding model for event planning. I want to demonstrate that. Does anyone know the wedding model for events? I can't believe it. Okay, cool. I'm glad we're gonna teach what they do here today.
There we go.
Yeah, cool. All right, so anyone recently get married or been to a wedding? Cool. Anyone familiar with what a wedding is, right? We've all know what that is, we've experienced. Okay, what's the first thing that typically happens whenever like there's a wedding in terms of touches and communication?
Save the day.
Yeah, normally there's an announcement, right? There's the engagement announcement that happens, right? But there's an announcement of some sort. In our case, it is the engagement that goes out. Okay. Then you're right. Then next is to save the date. And I once abbreviated that to STD, and I realized that's not.
Save the day.
Then what? An RSVP, yeah, so there's the formal invitation. Then after that is what I call old school, that's the chicken or beef touch, right? Like, I'm following up and I'm putting down what I have on the menu. And sometimes that's inside the formal invitation, but for the sake of this, let's go ahead and build that out. And then what? And then we have the announcement, to save the date, the formal invitation, the chicken, the beef touch. Anyone know what I'm talking about there?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And then we have the actual event itself, right, the wedding. And then what happens if you attend a wedding and then like, what do you get a couple days later?
Thank you.
Thank you. Good, thank you. All right, and then today's day and age, what happens about a week after that?
Photo.
Yeah, photos, social media. Now, if we were to look at a wedding and use this as a model for running an event, and we were to maximize our touches, do you think it's easy to go over 36 touches if I'm being purposeful about sending out announcement every time, save the date every time? A formal invitation, a chicken and beef touch would be just like, a, hey, I'm so sorry I'm gonna miss you. We're so excited I'm gonna see you.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? It doesn't matter if people show up to the wedding or not, in your case. As a real estate agent, I want to make sure that anytime I do an event, we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches at least. just by inviting my database. Now, here's the other thing that I'm gonna kind of share with you. Gary teaches us inside the shift book that you need to have a message and a method for a delivery. Your message is what we just outlined right here. Each of these is gonna be something that we're saying of value, reaching out to our database. It's gonna be, hey, we're gonna have a really cool event coming up. Then we're going to have a little bit of details about the specific dates. Then more details come out about the formal invitation, and then there's the nice to see you, or sorry, we're gonna miss you touch. Then there's details about this. Oh yeah, by the way, if we're doing this the right way, I'm probably gonna sneak in a last minute reminder inside of here. That's something you'll typically get at a wedding, but we can trickle in more touches in each of these to make sure that we're going from 5 or 6 to 10 touches anytime that we do an event. But you have your message, and what Gary tells us is that we need another thing over here. Anyone know this from Shift? We need a message and a what? Method, all right? So this is what I want to challenge you, because I think sometimes this gets really complicated that we go immediately technology and we say, hey, let's jump inside of command and let's send emails, let's send hack messages. I want you to take a break and go, okay, if I'm gonna do an announcement, what would be the ideal method of delivery? Mail. Handwritten invitation. Who said mail? Your mail is coming, don't worry. There's plenty of mail here. Yeah, but typically that's like social media. That could be, reaching out to your database and doing emails. What do I say today?
That's mail.
Mail, yeah, mail. Yeah, we could do mail. What about the formal invitation? That one should definitely be mail. And sometimes that should be mail, and oh gosh darn it, I was gonna tell you to pick up the phone and call people. You should make a phone call to this too. You say out next couple years. And then your chicken or beef touch, what should that be? Phone, love that. I'm gonna put phone or text. Yes. Your last minute reminder, probably text. All right, and then you have the event itself. So this is in person. For your wedding, or whatever your event may be. Your thank yous, what are those typically? Handwritten note. Come on, people. Let's make it special. If we're gonna do this, let's do it the right way. And then photos, that's typically social media or email. Now, the reason why I write this out on a whiteboard is I know that a lot of times, like when we look at getting a 36 touch or just a touch plan in place, we oftentimes go, oh my goodness, this is so overwhelming. When I open up command and smart plans, I get really confused. I challenge you to whiteboard it out the way we did. Lucy can attest to it. Every time I'm literally walking around like a madman with like post-it notes and like string going, all right, what's my next touch? If you really take a second to plan this out and say, okay, what do we have coming up? What touches do I need to get out? But if you were to look at this, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 touches I can sneak in here. And then if you double down on something like sending mail and phone and text, with one event, you could easily get to 20 plus touches. So I challenge you, like, go to these event classes that we have coming up this month. You're going to be able to go from like using something passive like the 36 touch that we have inside of command, and then like really building strong relationships with your database, take it to a whole new level of nurturing relationships with your people. Is this helpful? You guys ever seen this? It's good today.
Oh, I think Hunter is loving it. He was like, I'm so appreciative you did that just now.
Did I steal all your content?
No one thought it was funny, but I did.
Find it all now, that's perfect.
Cool. So with that being said, yeah, just to kind of circle line here, my client in North Carolina, we ran this play. He had 771 people register through an Eventbrite link, through like our announcement of save the date. He had 550 people show up the day of. He had more people show up than he expected, and actually had to rent a second movie theater last minute. Oh, that's awesome. Now, the key thing, and this is the one thing I make a point, you are in this business to make money. You're here to sell real estate. You're here to do that. If you're going to do a really cool event, do not be passive about asking for business. Ask for referrals. Ask who you know that's going to be buying, selling, investing in the next 6 months. Because the one mistake that my client made is he got a little bit passive there at the movie theater. He said, "Hey, follow cool properties on social media," and he got 300 people who followed on social media, but not one lick of business. So then we had to go back through with our thank yous and our social medias and actually ask for the business. When you have the chance to shoot your shot, making sure that like when you're doing this, we're here to remind people that we're in real estate and want their opportunity. Cool.
Yeah, an interesting thing is like, so my mom came in kind of today, 77 years old, did 14 million last year. I got like did 14 million, right? Yeah, even at 27 years old. Matt, what's the first thing she asked you? My mom, let me go back to it. My mom asked you a question, right? When you do all her loans, right? Pretty much?
Yes.
And what did she ask me first thing when she saw you?
Where's my Florida referral?
Where's my Florida referral? She's asking for the business. Everywhere she goes, that's what you think. And it's not like,
You don't hate her for that, right? Like, we're in this space for real estate agents, we should be asking for business.
that's for the business.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. Great job. That's all I was doing. I don't know if everybody caught on to that.
I thought you were talking about my planning class.
They say, they're taking notes on how the wedding, how it goes. Right? Yeah, that's all the announcements. That's all. They engage. Well, thank you so much.
He's just planning.
No pressure. Thank you. You're good. You're on screen.
Good now.
Yeah, thank you.
Good morning. I asked you to share earlier, but I watched my table. I chose to take it out. Guess who spent a little bit of time in the back of a police cruiser yesterday?
What did you do?
You're speeding. No, didn't pay your insurance. No. So my wife had a minor surgery on her foot. She hadn't been driving for a car. She's still not driving. She's still ready to work. And we're picking her up and we're working all those little things. So her car sat for about a week without being driven. So on Saturday, I said, or Sunday, I said, let me just go to the grocery, pick up a few things and I wanna, warm it up and run it and just to make sure everything's fine. I got a battery light that came on. And I said it could be because, it's been sitting for a minute. And that was that, and then it went away. So yesterday, I drove that car just to make sure that it was fine before she started driving it again. Well, coming to find out, I'm almost, maybe, I don't know, not even half a mile, a third of a mile away from my house, and the car dies. The lights start coming on and, the battery this and, I just lost power and died. And I'm on State Bridge. So I'm standing and I'm going, turn this way, don't hit the car. And here come the cruisers. And they're like, we gotta move the car. So we need a tow truck, so they're arranging for those things. And the guy looked at my shirt and says, "You're with Keller Williams." And I said, "Yes, I am." And then he asked something else and then he said, "Are you Enrique?" I said, "Yes, I am." He's an agent. He's one of my agents. I coached young police officers from the operating office. So guess who was doing a bit of a presentation? State Bridge, 2 police officers. Then he drove me home and, everything was. Did you get the sale? Well, I guess I did. He's an agent. Oh, okay. So I actually probably got a cell phone in from the other police officer. You gotta use it, right? There you go. But anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Now, I know about that, but I know a couple of people, right? So, I owe you guys stats from last week. We had a bit of a Google blunder. We're still thinking, I don't know what happened because, if you're busy, you saw the stats after, but let me just give you the stats very quickly. So I won't take a whole lot of time. Okay, so this are the actual stats that you were supposed to be looking at from last week, all right? Now, remember, we were talking about the active listing count being 48% higher month over month, 2023 over 2022, is that pink line over the yellow line that's over there. Now, the interesting thing is that the number of active listings has gone up nationwide. And it has gone up in the FMLS area, but it's only gone up by half. We have less properties being listed going on the market compared to the national average, right? So that's a lot of opportunity, a lot of misinformation from the part of the sellers, and a lot of education that we can do to change that. One of the reasons, there's a stat that says that 25 to 30% of potential sellers are not listing
because they think they're not gonna make good money when they sell their house in this market, which is not true. So this is something for you guys to work with. Next slide, if you don't mind. Total listing count, we're actually sound percentage between 2021 and 2022. So you would say, well, we're not doing so bad. It's 6.3% year over year, same month, right? Look at the number of the FMLS area. It's up by 18%, almost 19%, almost 3 times that number. That is the backlog properties that we have in our system. And guess what is contributing to that? The overpricing. Okay, next slide, if you don't mind. Newly listed homes, look at where we are. If you see the teal line, the little B that's right there, that's when the pandemic started last year. That's when we shut down, people didn't know what we were doing. We're just a little over that year, but we're below the year over year by 21%. Now, the number is kind of similar here. It's a little bigger, it's minus 25%, so we have less properties going on the market than the national average. So again, food for thought, there's plenty of business that we can acquire if we talk to the sellers and we explain what's going on. Next slide, if you don't mind. Pending listing count. Where are we? We're technically right in the middle of 2017, 2018, and 2019. Definitely below 2022 and 2021. See that? Now, what is the problem with us? The number is almost the same. So we mimic pretty much to the decimal, the national average. People are still, they're buying in the same proportions, okay? We're going under contract in the same proportions. Next slide, if you don't mind. Days on market. It's come down from the beginning of the year, hasn't it?
Yes.
But we're still at 17 days from last year, same period, and we're at 49 days. And in our area, we're up 13 days. So guess what? We're actually selling less inventory than the national average, right? And if you have a property that is in the right location, priced at the right price, they're selling quicker than the national average, right? Next slide, if you don't mind. Median list price. People are asking me, prices are coming down. No, they're not, at least not yet. Now, what do you see there? The national average is 430,000, and we're at 2.5% year over year. We're about to cross, and I don't like predicting, but I think we're about to cross 2022, and we're probably gonna come out the other way. And so we're slicing that top, that craziness that happened in the middle of the year last year. And that to me is gonna be our first adjustment, true adjustment, because we really haven't gone down price-wise, month over month, year over year, right? Now, that is 2.5%. This is the interesting thing. And we're at 449, so a little higher price point than the national average, but we're at 4.4%. Year over year. That doesn't sound like a lot, almost twice as much. That's the reason I keep saying we have an overpricing problem or a pricing problem, if you want, right? Now, is that my last slide? I think it is. Now, those statistics are important to your clients. And what's important to you is that you know how to explain them to them so that they can make good and educated decisions. These are the statistics that are important to you out of everything, right this minute. And I just take Gwinnett, just to give you a sample, but you can do this with every county, with every city. Gwinnett had over 1,500 expires and withdrawals in the last 6 months, and a total of almost 200 in the last 30 days. What I see is opportunity. What I see is you guys making calls and setting up appointments and specializing in selling properties so their agents couldn't sell. So the question is, are you gonna get busy with that? How much of that business can you get or do you wanna get? So what do you think?
Yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff.
Well, that's all I have. Sorry, I only say the 4 or 5, right? Add 5 to database, talk to 5 in your database, write 10 handwritten notes, and go preview 5 homes every day. And what do you do when you preview the home when you're done?
Your card.
What'd you say, Joe? I didn't hear you.
Leave your card.
Oh, why, Joe?
Cause you know, if the guy doesn't really sell, he might say, boy, this guy Joe might be able to do a better job.
That's
Call him,
interesting.
see what to do.
That's right, that's right, that's right. Can we call Melba, can we call listed properties? No,
We call this property.
yeah, to get it listed. No, the answer is no. I'm sorry, I called. No, we can't. So thank you. You answered that right. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. But can you leave your business card? There you go. It's another little trick to the trade. All right, let's go through awards real quick, and I'm still on time. I know all of you are still shocked, but there we go. All right, the $1 Million Producer in volume last month. I'm gonna get you going this morning. Carlos, 2.5. Yeah, there you go. Elizabeth, 2.4. I just did that on purpose, sir, man. Reese Morgan, 1.9. Larry Ehrlich, 1. Nina, 1.6. That's 1.2. Liz, 1.2. 1.1. Alan Lowe, 1.1. KSA team, 1.7. Woo. Put in there at $1 million. Need that and pay for the tires on my car today. There you go. Congratulations, Cam and David. 3.7. We got anybody representing them in here? I'll see anybody. There we go. And Smith and Company, 1.5. Congratulations. Let's up into individuals for the month. Carlos has been in Columbia for the last month. Agent of the month still, closed units. Carlos, go clap on that. One of volume, Carlos. I need a big round of applause. Listing units, Joe Huggins. Oh no. Written units, Lily Bear. Big volume, oh no. Major month in GCI, that's gross commission income. That's where really the rubber meets the road, right? Money. Carlos. Well, I did that on purpose because Lily doesn't believe you're very upset, and she'll come to my office and she'll go, we gotta go to work. I don't like it, Lewis. All right, let's go right into our teams. Closed units, the Tamara team. Yeah. I got you in this category too. Closed volume. I'm gonna give it to you. I'll look into it. KSA team. Listing units, KSA team. Listing volume, KSA team. Written units, KSA team. Written volume, KSA team. And here's where the rubber meets the road. Literally for this guy today. GCI for the month. The Keacher and Real Estate team. All right, in groups, here we go. Closed units, the Peters team. Closed volume, ready to clap. Listing units, Nancy Minor team. I don't see him here that often. He must have known he was getting an award. Listing units, Sweet Home Atlanta. Sweet Home Atlanta. I give it back to him. Pass it back to John, if you don't mind, just pass it right back. Here we go. Group of the month written units, the Peters team. For the month, the Peters team and GCI, where the rubber meets the road. Peters team. All right. These are some of my favorite special awards. We are recognizing those for great work for the month. So her first closing, Mariah's not here, is she? I don't. JC, you see Mariah message says she got her first listing ever at Chat North. Here we go. You hear? Oh, I see her, I don't see her. I see her, but I don't see her, right? All right, first closing, Dana. Marcusdale, is that right? Marcel. First closing, Carlos, you have to help me on his last names. Speedo. That's not right. All right, first, I apologize on the name, that's just, first closing again. Go that you have it.
Kelly Gonzaga.
Kelly Gonzaga. Hey, I just did, what is first closing?
Brandon Gonzalez.
Ready to go. Finally, this is pretty well. First closing, Linka had her first. Then we got Tyler's for the month. Where's Tyler? I saw Tyler in the house. There he is. Congrats on Captain. See Zach in the house. Zach, also cap this month. Yeah, say it one more time.
Saying on all of them.
Okay, there you go, Zach, congratulations. And with the round of applause, it could not be the most. They'll pass out the cap and first full year of real estate. Proud of you, dude. Now let's do more. All right, classy.
Oh, shoot, I'm sorry.
We got a lot of stuff coming up.
What's not, thank you.
I'm gonna look at them.
All right, so classes this week, we've got two meetings today. Today, normally ALC is not the third week, but it is the third week this week. That is today at 2 o'clock. If you want to listen, you're welcome to. At 5:30, K-Score info session. If you know anybody looking to get into real estate, then have them join that Zoom meeting. It's about 10 or 15 minutes, and the link is in our weekly email that comes out on Sundays. Tomorrow, Melba will be here doing a 3 CE on contracts. If you need those 3 CE hours, come on in. You know she does a fantastic job, so join Melba for that. It is technically part of Ignite, but anybody is welcome to join for that contracts class tomorrow.
It's
then-
free, it's the hour, 3 hours of C credit from 10
Yes.
to 1.
What did I say?
I don't know, but I
Okay.
want to make sure.
Okay. And then also tomorrow, the bilingual sessions are from 1:30 to 4. That is bilingual and contracts typically. On Thursday, new agent meet and greet. That is for anybody who is new or newer to the market center. If you have not attended one of our meet and greets, then come on in and do that. Also at 11:30, Find and Show Homes, that is part of Ignite. Ignite is also on Friday, and then on Friday, David is doing, and he's here. Do you want to mention that real quick?
Sure, so this is a class that is a combination of two things, two events I went to. It's 8 Cs, gives you clarity on self leadership and sales capability. And then the 1R is the mission statement, which is only 2 words. I'm not going to say those 2 words here, but it's so simple. And one of the largest corporations in the United States, that's their mission statement. And so show up and you'll find out. Plus there's free food.
There you go, that's how you get them. Food and wine, there you go.
Other things to plan for ahead of time, May 24th. Shelter is doing mysteries of mortgage underwriting. I believe that is a CE, yes, that is a 3 CE course. So please register for that. There is lunch provided. This stuff is all in the Sunday email as well, so I'm gonna go through kind of quickly. How to plan and host a successful client event. That's what they were talking about today with Emily and Shelter and everybody. So join us for that. It is on May 25th. June 9th, save the date. This is our 2nd annual Georgia Legacy Voices Group, so it's about diversity. So that is, it's at the North Atlanta Market Center as
Yeah,
well.
it's here.
Oh, it's here. Sorry, you should go more.
It's gonna be around 1 o'clock, and once again, Kelly and Shelter will be providing lunch beforehand. And then we'll have panels and such like we did last year.
Perfect. That was a really good event last year. It was pretty packed, so that is a good one. Also coming up is this one, dominate listings with real estate planning.
I want to talk about this. They come all the way from Hawaii. His life stinks, right? He comes from Hawaii. It's one of the communities. I had a conversation with one of my very dear friends the other day, and he lost his dad a couple of years ago. What he's working on is getting his mom. It's not about estate planning, but it's conversations. He wants his mom to move in with him. He's got to sell her house. Oh, by the way, they have a lake property that they're not able to go to. They're gonna sell that house. Oh, by the way, since mom's moving in, they need to have somewhere else because their house he lives in now currently does not accommodate his mom. So it's basically 4 houses, right? So you're having these conversations. Why I said that is estate planning. This is what's going on. I know a lot of y'all in here, you have parents or you have children. Let's go to the parents. I would recommend everybody come to this class. It is 1 to 4. Dan's gonna be on the road. He's an unbelievable speaker. And he heads the estate planning, the real estate planner community. So that's June 15th. Be here. Brought him all the way from Hawaii.
Also coming up, oh, you know what, Melba?
Melba's here.
What, you want to talk about one on Week for Kids real quick?
Yes, if you would like to. Yeah, one thing for kids, we're really excited about. I hope you'll register. By the way, Sam did a great job about saying the date and this. This is an event. You ought to be sending these out to your database. Last year when we did, actually it was in January, we had a lot of people that were from your database that attended. And they ended up calling their agent to say, wow, that was too great. So it is on June the 4th. It is in Windward. We're expecting a large group. So invite your database for your children, your grandchildren, your family. It's 18 to 24, but we'll vary a little bit on that. We had some younger ones last year, but it is a great event. Stacy Dodson is amazing. She taught high school for years and years and years. She's been a young life leader, so she is great. So it comes from 2 perspectives: the grandmother, the old grandmother, and the younger person. So hope you'll be there. It is our we've got people that are helping us if you would like to do that. But if you've never been to Quantum Leap, I can't even tell you how great it is. But this is Quantum Leap for kids, and it is pretty special. Gary Keller did a great job putting this together, and I'm just honored that I am one of to be able to teach it. So June the 4th.
Yeah, so I'm gonna add on that. You should have your children come to that. Mike, how old are you? 21?
Yes.
How old were you when you took well with it?
18.
18. Oh, that's interesting. Where are you going next week?
Austin.
Oh, you're going to Austin next week. You are. What are you going to Austin for, Mike?
To be with Brett Tanner at a wealth building.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, so that's my point, right? It started in that class. His career, it wasn't even, it was just a college, I think might have been high school, college student. Have your kids come to this class. It'll impact their lives. All right.
Excellent. And then finally, just to wrap up your summer with Mega Camp, that is in August in Austin.
Yeah, you guys gotta play all in. So when you go to these events, the reason you're, well, first of all, for me, is that you see education and the networking. Education and networking, you go to these events.
And that's it.
All right, take us away, and I'm gonna give y'all back 20 minutes of your life.
Good morning, beautiful people of Chatting North. Happy Gratitude Tuesday, and it's another great day to be alive, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So first, a big shout out to all the award winners and cappers, because it does matter who you're in business with. But also want to give another special shout out to our very own Ruth. I mean, Red Day, Ruth was walking across highways and byways and climbing over boxes and doing all sorts of stuff. So you're talking about just from a leadership standpoint, she was going all in. And another one too.
I thank you for thanking me for that, but it was a wonderful day. I really got a lot personally out of that, but I also want to thank you for all the birthday greetings I got the next day. And then a praise is I didn't have to go to the nursing home.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because there were times we couldn't even find Ruth. We're like, has anybody seen Ruth? Yeah, she's all the way down, a block and a half down the street talking to folks and praying with folks and all kind of stuff. And Sylvia as well. She was just going all in, you know, just leaning and taking pictures with people, hugging with people and stuff like that. and really just letting people know that they see them. So such a spirit of gratitude. So I'll end with gratitude unlocks the fulfillment of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. When we appreciate the blessings around us, big or small, our hearts overflow with joy and contentment. Let's continue to think big, aim high, act bold, peace and love, chat north.
Thank you.